Welcome back. Today I will attempt to voice over the cleaning process that Velocity John is applying to the Clio. So Velocity John is busy applying pre-wash to the wheels to remove the majority of the brake dust, letting it dwell for a short while before blasting it off with the pressure washer to avoid rubbing any of the dust and dirt into the alloys when applying the fallout remover, which turns all of the contamination a nice purple colour. In the meantime, I made myself useful and went to make tea and coffee in my lovely little branded mugs, which are not for sale because, well, that would require me to be somewhat organised. Wheels rinsed, followed by some fallout remover going on, and there is a lot of embedded brake dust on these wheels. It would probably benefit from some acid cleaner. But unfortunately we haven't got time for that, and the car is really going to be driven quite a lot. It doesn't need to be concourse, it just needs to be clean. The fallout remover turns everything purple as it eats away at the contamination. Turns out, all of this time, Prince just liked cleaning wheels. Next, John demonstrates some of his other skills. That one's for the OnlyFans.
It says, what you need to do is overlay a bit of Barry White onto this.
Anyway, up next it's snow foam time. This is done to lift the worst of the contamination off the car before we go on in with a hand wash. You've already seen this bit, sorry. Back to the actual cleaning, John.
We've got one bloke, two buckets. So first pass clean is done.
Yes, so we've done the pre-wash, we've done the contact wash now.
Yep.
So once that's done, just going around in some of the detailed areas now. Because it's been sat there for a while, there's going to be some algae, some build-ups, some bits of grime in there that we're going to try and get out now with the detail brush.
Very good.
So we're using an all-purpose cleaner. Just go around, let it soak into the areas we're going to attack with a brush, and then using a fine soft bristle brush to get into those little panel gaps and get them cleared out.
So it's back onto snow foam next, I guess.
Yes, so we've done all of the, gone around all the nooks and crannies, we've gone into the door rubbers, things like that. As you can see, like, look at that, that's years and years of grime that's sort of gone into the rubbers. It's all sort of come out now and dripping down the door there. A little thing about detail is that we don't like dirty flaps.
Right, okay.
Okay, so
did I have a dirty flap?
You've got a dirty flap, I'm afraid.
That's slightly embarrassing, isn't it? That's all right, John's going to fix John's dirty flap.
Yeah, we're going to get in there nice and good and give it a good clean.
He's having a good brush around in my flap. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a fuel flap on this side of the car, by the way. Just, FYI.
Keep your minds out the gutter.
Disgusting people.
Yeah,
really.
I don't know. You're subscribers, John.
I notice you end up with lots of these in the bin inside.
Yes.
Microfibers. You probably sell them to the guy next door to use them as rags.
Well, to be honest, I give them to my next door, the two on the other side. I've got a guy that buys and sells and restores pianos.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I give them to him, and then the guy on the other side of him, there's a painter, car painter. So I give them to him, and
really useful rags.
Yeah, really good.
What would be a clean rag in a normal workshop is probably way too dirty for you to use.
Absolutely. These are just single use for me. I don't use them. I mean, I can use them on the interior for cleaning the interior, but they don't go anywhere near paintwork once I've used them once, because if it picks up a little bit of something, a little bit of dirt from the interior, it goes washed at home.
Pushing it into.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point in risking it. So these are that cheap from Costco. They're just single use. So I use them once and then I give them to the neighbours.
There you go. So if you're running a garage, make friends with the detailer, because you might get some cheap or free rags.
Yeah. There's not actually that much tar on it.
No?
No.
But yeah, it's probably not got a lot of tar on it because, well, frankly, it probably gets cleaned more than it's driven. which is ironic. It doesn't get driven a lot, which is why it gets cleaned more than it gets driven. But hopefully that will change in the future. Now it's all back on the road and we have access to store it at home, although not at the moment because we still haven't figured out the garage fiasco. Or whatever it is, it's got a strong smell.
Yeah, it's known as a tar and glue remover.
Okay.
It's sort of just breaks down the tar deposits, and then you can just easily just wipe it off.
See why you might do this bit outside, because that smells
Yes,
quite strong.
It's potent. Yeah.
Not quite as eggy as the
fallout remover.
The fallout remover, yeah.
Unfortunately, we are going to be using that eggy product again now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're going to splash it all over the paintwork, and that's going to, all the embedded brake dust and stuff that's kind of settled on the car is going to bring it out. So if there's a lot of it on the paintwork, we'll see that purple kind of reaction on the paintwork.
It's a bit more purple rain incoming.
Yes.
Well, hopefully not if the paint is clean, but I think the chances are we're going to see a sea of purple.
It all sort of depends, like if it's done a lot of miles, like motorway miles, following other cars, you know, a lot of brake dust kind of comes behind and settles on the paintwork,
so or I guess on the front of the car a lot.
Yeah, and if a car's been gets parked a lot, like near a railway or a foundry, that kind of, a lot of airborne stuff that just settles, that kind of stuff. So we shall have a look. See
so
what
if you're in Sheffield.
Say again?
So if you're in Sheffield.
Yeah, if you're in Sheffield,
you're going to
good
need
luck.
some of this stuff.
I used to live in Sheffield, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to deal with a lot of it.
Mind you, that's slowly becoming not a problem in this country, but that's a story for a whole nother video.
Let's not get political.
Yes.
Let's look around and start to see a few sort of
purpley bits.
See, it's so close the lens is going to touch the bodywork. You can see all these little tiny purple spots just starting to come through. Wow, there's lots of them.
Whoa, you're not wrong. That does.
Yeah.
Whoa, smells interesting.
So you can really see it now, especially on the floor where it's actually dripping off. But yeah, it looks like the poor thing is bleeding to death. Look at that. Even snow foam with flat, I'm gonna leave that one right there.
So what this is doing now, John, is we've done a lot of the sort of chemical decontamination, so it's removing tar spots, removing brake dust. That's the purpley bleeding thing that we saw. What this is doing now, this is kind of blanketed the car in snow foam, and what we want this to do is get into all the panel gaps and draw out all of those chemicals that we've sort of sprayed all over the car, kind of neutralising the paintwork as well at the same time. So we're going to give that a couple of minutes to sort of like do its job, drag everything down. We're going to blast that off with the jet wash again, and then it's ready to go inside.
Who knew? Snow foam wasn't done just because it looks awesome. Excellent. So one thing that's become really obvious standing the other side of the camera that you can see in this now it's clean, is it looks like these two panels are different colours. And you might see this quite a lot on Clios of any generation, be that these sort of the 172s, the 182s, the Cups, etc., especially in silver, it shows it up the most. And that's not because this has been repainted or this has been repainted. It's actually because the wings on these, they're plastic. So plastic takes the paint slightly differently. You can tell it's plastic, look, because you can push it and bend it. And as a result, you get a slightly different colour across the two panels. And now the car's starting to get cleaner and cleaner. It becomes more and more obvious that they're not quite the same colour. Same paint, but they take it slightly differently. So yeah, this is original, don't worry. And if you've seen one that's like this and you go to buy it and you think, oh, it's had the wing painted, it hasn't. Just because that's plastic.
Okay, join us next time on Automotive Tales as we start the paint correction process with John from Velocity Detailing. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.